And in studio, Iran expert Meir Javadanfar. What do you think about what Camelia said? Is it being made a bigger deal than it actually is?
All we know, first of all, I agree with most of what she said, but what worries me is that this was kept a secret. Now, when something is kept secret, it creates suspicion. Now, the issue here is that, there were some aberrations within how much Iran was allowed to keep, for example, in the low-enriched uranium. You need to have 714 kilograms of low-enriched uranium to make a nuclear weapon. Iran is allowed to keep 300 kilograms. So are we going to assume that the P5+1 allowed Iran to keep another 400 kilograms? I think that's very unlikely. So the aberrations, I think, were small, but there are two issues here. Number one, it was kept a secret. And number two, there's a concern that you let Iran off the hook, even though this is a marginal, tiny fraction. Will Iran want to develop this and take this into the salami, the salami technique of one slice at a time? And I think the answer here is no, because I think the P5+1, their reputation is on the line. None of the countries, including Russia, want the Iranian regime to have a nuclear weapon.
Indeed. And now, Camelia was saying that it's not surprising now with Rouhani's term coming to an end to have these revelations come out. Could there be any internal politics playing into this? I
don't think this. Actually, the only thing this shows is how far Obama has gone to help President Rouhani, because we have to remember these aberrations were allowed to happen on January 16th, which is implementation day. So the Americans overlooked some small aberrations in order to allow sanctions to be lifted, because they knew on the 25th of February, 1 month and 9 days afterwards, there's going to be parliamentary and assembly of expert elections in Iran, and they wanted to help Rouhani because because once the sanctions are removed, his position is going to be boosted, and it did. His faction did well. So the only thing this shows is that President Obama has actually gone out of his way to help President Rouhani, and those who place the blame on President Obama for not living up to the deal, I think they're not correct.
And critics must be celebrating and really enjoying these new reports now.
Well, the fact that it was, I think if America had informed other countries, it would have been easier. But, on the one hand, I'm concerned about the fact that it was kept secret. But on the other hand, I don't think this means that the Iranians were allowed to creep towards a bomb.
Okay. Meir Javadanfar, thank you very much for weighing in, and we'll, of course, have to see if more reports like this do come out in the coming days. Hopefully not.